Hello, everybody. It's your boy Kaiser with a new model. Today I'm just gonna, show you, my guide to Pictomancer. I know there's been, a lot of other guides on the YouTubes and everywhere, but here's my version, right? First things first, I might go just what I personally feel is gonna be, the best, when raids and stuff come out what the best melds are gonna be. Don't worry, I'm 694. I've been slacking. I haven't gotten my 710 weapon, my 710 right side. But as you can see, Pictomancer's prio stat right now is direct hit rate, which for most casters it's mainly crit. The reason why that is because of this little thing, the hammer motif. Whenever you use striking muse, and then you go into the hammer stamp, it's always going to be a direct crit. So the higher your direct hit means the higher your direct crit is. And you get 3 of them, and the potencies are going to be going up. Next up, I think I'm gonna go off, what I personally think would be the best raid food. Now, Pictomancer, it's gonna be my main class for Dondro when it comes to raiding, specifically Savage raiding. I mean, as you can see, I have the grade 8 Tinctures of Intelligence. That's just because I haven't been able to craft the new ones, which are the grade 1 gem droughts of intelligence. I say I haven't been able to craft them. That's a lie. I just haven't been able to craft them high quality yet. That's on me. But the next thing I want to talk about is what probably is going to be the best raid food right now for Pictomancer, as there's no real good crate rate level 100 food yet, as I've went through all the lists. But in my humble opinion, it's probably going to be vegetable soup right now, because it gives you direct hit as its main stat, vitalities on everything, and determination. Determination really isn't the biggest thing. Now, with that out of the way, what is Picto's main gimmicks? Well, it has 2 really, which is the motifs, which are these over here, and the palette gauge. I'm gonna go off the palette gauge first. It's gonna be quick, easy. As you can see, you have a 1-2-3 combo, which is fire and red, arrow and green, water and blue. Now, every time you do that 1-2-3 combo, the same thing works with fire 2. It's just your AoE rotation, which you use for dungeons. It gives you 25 of your palette gauge and 1 holy. I'm going to say this now. You don't really ever use holy in white unless you have to, as it's really just a DPS loss. So every time you do 2 rotations of your 1-2-3 combo, you get 50 gauge, which lets you do subtractive palette. Now, what subtractive palette does is it eats this, it gives you common and black, and then it gives you the dark paint, which is blizzard and cyan, stone and yellow, and lightning and magenta. Now, that's this version, and it also gives you another white paint, which you can use for this. Now, give me a moment, I'm going to reset the striking dummy. Now, the other half is your motifs. Now, the main thing is, you got your palm muses, which is the main thing you're going to use. Then, you got starry muse, which I will use that in a second, because that's basically the big thing for your burst window. Then you got hammer stamp. As you can see, direct critical hit, and then 60% less on anything else. And you can do this 3 times, and you can see the damage goes up every time you do it. And that's very important. But the main thing you want to use hammer stamp for is, say, you gotta, move and, and you don't want to mess up on DPS, you use Hammer Stamp, you use Steel Muse, which is, your Hammer Muse. Then you just, use your 3 Hammer Stamps. Now, I'm going to reset this. Both these striking dummies, right? Just because this next portion revolves around Starry Muse. Now, I might show you what my opener is personally for Pictomancer. Alright. The first thing you want to do is you set up your motifs before the pull. Then 3, when the countdown goes down, around 5 to 4 seconds, you cast Rainbow Drip. Now, Rainbow Drip on its own, has a long cast time. But that's really good for this. Then you Starry Muse. Use this. Use Mog of Ages. Now here's the really big important thing. You get Star Prism. Then you go your 3 Blizzard and Cyans. Alright. And then you do your Comet. And then this gives you the increased Rainbow Drip. Cast that. That's your opener for Pictomancer. Now, your burst is really just, your 2-minute burst is, you wait for your Starry Muse to come back. Then you cast your 2 creature motifs. Here's another big thing, knowing when to use your Swift Cast. If you know you're about to get into your 2 burst window, you're going to Swift Cast, use Maul, Fanged Muse, and then you get Retribution of the Medine, which is its other really strong cooldown. And then it's really just whenever you're doing this rotation is, you just keep doing fire and red, fire and red all the way to water and blue, and you just keep going until you have enough subtractive palette, your palette gauge to use subtractive palette, then you just go into your Blizzard combo. And that's really the entire thing about it. I know a lot of people, a couple of my friends said, before Picto came out was, oh, it's going to be, super, hard to play. It's really not that hard or complex. The thing is about it, you need to do a lot of stuff. The main thing is why is because we're able to weave in potions. We weren't able to do this. So your opener, if you think about it, right? I'm going to show you the opener again, right? You start with Rainbow Drip. You Striking Muse, Palm Muse, Starry Muse, Star Prism, Subtractive Palette, Blizzard, Stone. And then this is also when you want to, you could weave your pot. You're normally supposed to weave your pot, at the start. As soon as you cast Rainbow Drip, you weave your pot in, and then, do all of that. And then you have your Hammer Stamp, go into the Hammer Brush. Oh no, it took too long. But that's basically your whole rotation is keep spamming. The main reason you ever use Holy and White is if you have too much of it. But this is mainly you can, during downtime, since it's instant cast, you can run around, cast your Holy and Whites until you have like 1 or 2. And then go back into your 1, 2, 3 of the light paints, get your 25 or 50 for subtractive palette, and then you go into your subtractive palette fizz. And then, since you don't have a race, you don't need to worry about, wasting your Swift Cast. Boom, Swift Cast, your Creature Muse, or if you need to Swift Cast a Hammer Muse, as at level 100, you do get 2 charges of this. And then it's really just, I know I click my buttons because that's how I've always played MMOs. I've always just, clicked my buttons, and it's just easier for me. That's why I have my layout like this. You can, weave in holies, whenever you want. Also, another big thing to know, anytime you're in subtractive palette mode, you cannot use holy and white because you need to use common and black first. Also, the other two abilities that, you've seen is Tempera Coat, which is, first version is, a shield for yourself, and then if you use Tempera Grassa, it's a party AoE shield. It's basically that. And then the other one, which if you want to use it, you mainly want to use this if you're out of position for a mechanic and you don't think you're gonna do it. This smudge, this is any direction, and it gives you a movement speed increase. This button has saved my ass so many times when I was farming the first extreme or progging it on PF because I'm a pleb and I run the solo FC. But that's basically my guide for Picto. I do want to add this one thing, because Picto is the highest DPS job in the game currently. With a party buff, it will get nerfed. I don't know if it's going to be in next week's patch, which is 7.01, which brings out the normal mode version of the A-Man raids, or it's going to be in the 7.05 patch, which brings Savage. But it's still the exact same thing, we just need to look at numbers. I think, for me personally, the things that are going to get hit is the creature motif potencies, the potencies on subtractive palette, and maybe either Star Prism or Redemption of the Nadine. If you didn't know, Star Prism has a 1400 potency, same, and it also heals you as well. And Redemption of the Nadine is just a OGCD once you get all 4 motifs. That basically just, does a big line of damage. That's all it does. And I'll say this as well. Even after patch, I do have the feeling that no matter what, if you play this job correctly and pretty decently well, you'll always be top DPS in your group. Because when I was doing prog on the first 2 extremes, I was doing, I think, just over 22,000 RDPS for me, and that's on the low end for Pictomancer. No other job gets close to the amount of damage Picto does right now. I think the only one that really gets close is probably Viper or maybe Samurai. That's another thing. If you guys do enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, comment if you guys would like me to do a guide on Viper as well. As I'll go on basically stats, what you should do when you meld, best food that we have currently, and basically anything else. And with that, hope you guys have a great day, morning, night, whatever it is, and love yourself. I'm out.